All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a wonderful day. I got another watch list for you, and we got to talk about it. It is all or nothing for Jerome Powell. Today was kind of a crazy day. It was very low volume, but throughout the day, analysts are arguing between, Powell's not going to say anything new, or Powell is about to drop a hawkish bomb. People are getting prepared for it, and even those Fed futures, they did find a way to move up. So we had a pretty interesting day. You got a lot of bad data. Once again, we're kind of seeing the same reaction, but now with low volume a couple days in a row, staying within the range, and then Powell right around the corner. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a big one. So we got a lot to talk about. I got the plays for you. I got a bunch of plays. We made a bunch of day trades. I even made a trade after hours, and I know it's not the NVIDIA, so I got a couple of good plays for you. We're gonna talk about TOT and the bonds, and I really think you need to hear this one, and then we're gonna go over what to expect and how do we prepare, because we still got one more day until Powell. Again, he is on Friday morning, and the PCE comes out before that, and you are gonna get some data tomorrow. So drop your thumbs up on the video, make sure you're subscribed, and if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open, youtube.com/the stock market. First link, and it's free. It's literally free at the very least. You better be there on Friday. Okay, you bet. And I got another Lakers shirt, baby. Some more volatility. Run it.
Walking to the couch, it's the 2020 election. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a live, but I still reinvest it. Feel how I feel, then you feel it's a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down.
Right off the bat, Chad, we got to start with this. Literally, Jerome Powell. This is going to be an all or nothing event at Jackson Hole. I understand there is a lot of analysts. We listened today on stream. I even called it out. I was like, wow, that's very different than what I'm seeing over here. You're going to have people argue this, so I just hope you're prepared for that, but it really does seem to be the vibe coming into it. We had another low volume day. Things are not moving, and let me just show you this. Last time I showed you this chart, I think you remember the market was getting pretty clapped, but this is the broader correlation more or less. This is the 6-month cross-asset correlation, and it's actually at one of the highest points in years, or when we were getting that coming into the end of the year or beginning of this year. And what this is showing you is that literally stocks, bonds, commodities, they're all moving together exactly the same. When correlation is high, that means volatility is high. That's why truly nobody knows what Powell is going to say. And even another analyst, I think it was Steve Chivarone, he even said it is a wild card, because how Powell communicates, how we saw last meeting and everything else, anything can happen. So hopefully you watched yesterday's video. I talked about what I'm going to expect, but we'll get into that here when we talk about the TOT and HYG. But setting up for that now, you have a couple of days till the event, and that's why we're not breaking the range and we are not moving too much. Nobody is willing to put big bets, and no one's really willing to take everything off the table just yet, because you're at that point. If Powell is good, we are going to rally through 430. If Powell is bad, we are going back to hell. So keep that in mind, but that is your first key. Get ready for it. Again, we're going to talk more on it, but key number 2, baby, GDP and jobless claim tomorrow. So remember, everybody want the GDP, the recession, all that. You know, they changed the definition. We good now, but that could cause a reaction. Definitely keep watch. Same thing with the jobless claims. If you watch that trend keep going up, remember that could lead the non-farm payrolls, but I'm not really expecting anything from any of the data tomorrow. Pretty much, I wouldn't be surprised to watch any of the data, GDP, jobless claims, for it to move like we saw over the last 2 days. We had durable goods today. It was bad. Pending real estate, bad. Yesterday, new homes, bad. PMIs, bad. And the market didn't really give the same reaction it was giving a couple weeks ago. And remember, that is because of the Fed futures. So I don't think the data tomorrow is going to move much. There will be a preliminary PCE before it comes out on Friday. That's the main one. So maybe that gives us something. But overall, I do think the market is kind of shocked, anticipating Powell. So watch out for that. And key number 3, finally, hate to break it to you, but no matter what happens Friday, the real move happens on Monday. I know it's sad, but I'm really excited about this. And why I say that is it relates to the play. Powell may be a wild card. Again, we are not trying to predict. I know some people, you don't like it. I hope this. I hope that. Yeah, I saw your negative comment. Anyways, but what I'm trying to say is we're going over it. There's no money in trying to predict this because you can't. We are not trying to say we got some magic touch and that it's tinfoil and this needs to happen. No, it is being prepared for it. So it's kind of bittersweet because whatever happens on Friday with Powell, you're not going to watch it all break down instantly. I mean, think about it. When was the last time you actually saw that happen? Never. It really actually takes a couple of days. So that's why I'm saying, even to set up a good play, all we need to know is, hey, which turn does Powell take? And that will guide us to hopefully a great money making opportunity. But I messed that. I didn't say that good at all. But those are the keys. If anything, I hope you guys are ready for it. That's what I'm saying. At the very least, be there on Friday on stream, and we're going to make sure you don't miss it. But I hope you're ready, and let us get into the plays. So, right off the bat, I got 4 plays. The last one is going to be HYG and TOT. We're going to talk about it, but I got 3 other ones, and I'm actually in all 3 of these plays. And just like yesterday, that Lockheed, that got clapped. But like I'm telling you, I would be watching that. I don't think it's down 50% just yet, but that could be a great price to get it in at. So, keep watching that. And I did make a lot of day trades. Again, we're going to go over all of those, but the first play, I made this one after hours. You guys did not see it, but TDOC, I grabbed 200 shares. My average is like $35 around there, so it's still like a 2% gain, and honestly, they have been getting clapped. Remember, they haven't had good news, but why I decided to go with it is that after hours, Amazon announced that they're backing out of telehealth, so that's good competition from Amazon leaving. Great, that's awesome. The thing I don't like about it is that it kind of has a hint of bearishness because Amazon left and they said, well, we don't really see the opportunity as big as we once did. So that's not good, but I grabbed 200 shares. So really, I'm expecting my max loss to be only a couple $100. If it drops $2 from there, I'm probably going to sell off again. I'm going to show you this with some of the plays here that we did today, but even though we're going big on shares, it may seem like a lot. By controlling the share amount, it's very simple. If you have 100 shares, you will lose $100 for every dollar the stock moves. So some plays where we do like 5, 10 shares, it has to move $10 for you to lose $100. You see what I'm saying? But with that in mind, with a lot of these plays, it's giving me flexibility to go after them. That's why I'm even willing to do it a little bit after hours. But the whole idea is I'm not grabbing enough shares where if it does make a $1 or $2 move, it's going to be a big loss. So keep that in mind. That is play number 1. Then play number 2, I did grab more shares on this one, but still a little bit more controlled considering smaller price and how it moves. But JWN, and why I like it is the same reason I'm scared of holding it short. There is big bounce potential. That thing is down 20% today. It didn't have any real bounce. We've seen a lot of names sell off and catch the craziest bid, especially in retail. So I think there could be upside. I would not be against hedging this. So kind of like a ghetto spread. If my short position goes up and I could buy some cheaper calls, then maybe I'd go ahead and do that. But at the other end, if it does break from here, it really could flush. They're at multi-year lows, and I think it could be a good one, especially if we get more consumer or volatility out of Powell or any negativity, more or less. But there's that play. I shorted 500 shares, I think at 1870, so we'll see. I think I'm up a little bit on it now, but that's play number 2. Then play number 3, T-Mobile. I grabbed 50 shares of this on the news that they're having an event with Elon and SpaceX. Even Elon tweeted about it, but the reason I went after it was the news. Why I'm kind of holding it, I did hold it overnight here. I was going to flip out of it. I was up like $20, but I didn't. But I just like the strength they've had. They've had good earnings during the volatility. They led with communication. So I was like, all right, I can hold it a little bit. And with 50 shares, that means every $2 down, it will cost me about $100. So get a little bit of wiggle room, but I like it. Not fully sold on that one. That's going to be a play. If I'm up like 50, $100 on it, I'm going to dip out. So we'll see. But I will keep an eye if that does have any outperformance, especially if we meet some volatility. So that is play number 3. And finally, play number 4, HYG and TLT. And don't go crazy. Someone asked today, they were like, do you think it would be wise to get some TLT leading into Powell? And I said, yeah, it would not be a bad idea. I don't think it's dumb to grab any exposure. I think the exposure should be small, though. And that's really what I'm saying. TLT, HYG. HYG is a little less crowded. Again, everybody and their mom knows TLT. I wonder why. Shout out to Cole, baby. But anyways, TLT, it's a little more crowded. I like it. Again, I'm thinking puts, downside. If Powell is hawkish, and it is a bad Powell, TLT, HYG are going to drop. And maybe if he goes full Volcker, it could go insane. But we don't know. There's no way to predict. You have to wait until we hear from Powell. So this is why I'm saying I have $100 on it, maybe another 100 if you're feeling a little crazy. A little bit of exposure is good, but no matter what, I don't think the bonds will go crazy until after we know what's going to go on with Powell leading into the next week and all of that. So really, how you play it, it's not a bad idea to get some exposure, but it is a bad idea to put a giant amount in leading into it. Premiums are higher because, again, even right when Jackson Hole's over, depending on where we open, you may watch 20-30% of premiums across the board just disappear because now that event risk is gone. So like I'm saying, just don't go too crazy. If we get the confirmation, then we are going to go crazy. So we're going to see what happens. It could be an opportunity, but like I'm saying, total wild card, we're going to find out. And this is where quick interpretation is going to pay off. We don't need a quick prediction. You get what I'm saying? Let's do it, baby. But as far as everything else, I made a bunch of other plays today. Surprisingly, I didn't make an option, just a lot of stock. So I guess let's go over it. Here is all of the plays here. And I started this morning with 300 shares of Navi. I bought them at 16, 17, 16, 18. I flipped it a couple of hours later. I think not even, like maybe an hour later. I think an hour, 9 minutes on the dot, but I flipped it out at 16.28. It was up a little bit more, but I played that for the student loan stuff in the morning. Once we got it, I figured it was done. So there was that. And then I made a Tesla play and I re-shorted the Tesla, but with 20 shares. And now this is something I want you to see because this is what I was talking about yesterday. Remember, I shorted at the bottom there at like a very, very low price on Tesla 2 days ago and it rocketed up. But even though it rocketed up and you would think Tesla would murder you off of only 8 shares, I was only down about like $150, $200 by the end of the day. So even coming into this morning, the stock kept going up. I was down on it. And then once it broke through 905, I said, okay, I'm going to re-short. But now I did it with 20 shares instead of 8. And this is what I was saying yesterday, where it's like, if we play small on it, if we actually go down on something and it moves a lot, you could add a whole new position that will probably benefit you more. So by shorting at 905 with a bigger amount, I was able to close it again a couple hours later. It did go against me. So hopefully you were able to watch that live and learn from it. But I sold out at 898. We got like $6, $7 a share, but I lowered my loss. I still lost overall about $112 or $120 on Tesla in general, but I got to make up. At one point I was down $500 on that after some of the new ones and the old ones, but it worked out very good. So I was actually ended up being happy. And now look at the difference. If you try to buy an option when I bought the shares and you bought a at the money put, because remember, by shorting it, I'm getting dollar for dollar. I'm already in the money. So let's say you bought that at the money put, the 670 or the 870 at that time, you would have spent $2,500. Even though it kind of dropped a little bit and made that move, you would have actually lost $2,000 by today. Whereas today, you're seeing how we maneuvered it. If I didn't do anything, I would have been down about like $200-$300. But after making that move, we were able to get ourselves only $120 loss, a lot better than the options. And hopefully you could see why I'm doing some of these moves. It's giving us exposure, a lot less flexibility, and we're not getting scammed by the market maker in high volatility. So I'll take it. But that was the second play. We sold out the Navi. I shorted 200 shares of Twitter at 40.04. I'm holding that. I'm still down. That one ended up costing me like $200 though. So I'm still holding that. And this one, watch tomorrow. I may get squeezed. It could be a lot of fun, but there's going to be news from the judge on the Twitter case that can move it. We were playing the second set of news. It seemed negative on the judge thing. So after the first drop and pop, I waited and I went for the short on the second pop, but it ended up keep running. So we'll see. Holding that. Then I shorted 100 shares of Nvidia right when it was breaking out with everything else at 173.37. It came down. I was able to close at 171. We made about $200 on that trade. And again, we covered the Tesla. I opened up the JWN and I'm still holding that up like $50 or something like that right now. And we talked about there on the plays. And then I grabbed 500 shares of Core. I'm going to talk about this probably tomorrow. We're going to see. If you didn't watch that short I put out actually this morning, go check it out. But there's a big event tomorrow with Core and the tour. It's still going to kind of lead in seasonality, but I decided to go with 500 shares of the ETF of Core, 26.37. I I'm actually really liking it, especially as we get here into fall. But commodities are risky, and you've seen how it can move. So keep that one in mind. But there was that. And then after hours, I flipped another 25 shares in NVIDIA. I made 20 bucks, and then I bought the TDOC. So yeah. There it is, baby. Hopefully you've been enjoying it. Again, I really think there is something to learn from this. And honestly, I hope you don't go crazier than I am with it, because even though it seems like a lot of plays, I hope you guys are seeing at the end of the day, the trades really aren't like that too crazy, or they're not putting us in a weird amount. Again, I can only put up like 4. Maybe I can put up more. But you can see, here's just even the progress from today. You know, that Nordstroms were up 40. Realized $30 on Navi. Realized 217 on NVIDIA. I still have that Summit. I'm just putting that up there because that's another one of the open trades that I'm holding. The T-Mobile, we got $20 gain, and then the Tesla, $74 gain. But then again, we realized like 120, and then remember, I took about like what, a 150 loss on Ape yesterday, and then anything else we closed with a small profit, I believe. So you're seeing it, but honestly, like, you could trade with a smaller option account and the numbers would look similar. So hopefully you're seeing and hopefully you're learning from it. But those are the main plays. As far as everything else, I'm just going to be watching energy, maybe watching some TLT and bonds leading into it, playing some of the momentum. And then once we know what Powell's going to do, we're going to get our answer, and it could be a big one. So I hope you're ready, but that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure hydrated, healthy, ready to go. Make sure post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. I need you to remember, most of the worries in life, they come from expectations and having too high of them and letting them ruin things. Control the expectations, Chad. Literally, we all have a finite amount of energy. We all got a destiny, and we're heading towards somewhere. But I hope you know, expectations cost gas. You got a gas tank. The more you expect, it's going to take from it. So be open, and remember, no expectations don't mean no orientation. Orient yourself in the right direction. Aim where you want to go, but don't get too disappointed and don't expect too much, and you're gonna be good. I gotta tell you, bro, you're made for this. Amen, baby. Let's go. It's game time. So get ready. I better see you Friday. I'm gonna see you in the morning. Have a wonderful sleep, and God bless Chattadonia, baby. I love you. Goodbye. Goodbye, Habibi. Good night. Are you happy for student loan? My sister called me. She said, oh my gosh, I love the student loan. And then she started to argue with me about the climate change, the ESG. I say, what? I thought you were happy for the student loan, but happy student loan day, Chattadonia. I think it's good, you know. She got student loan. Okay, bye.